Alright viewers, today we're going to be comparing the Bissell Powerforce Bagged 1739, which I'm not going to spoil the orc if you haven't watched that one yet, versus the cheaply built, loud as hell, weak suction, dust billowing, squeaky Hoover Twin Chamber, bagless. When I say weak, people gonna say, that ain't weak. Well, it's got the 6.9 amp motor in it, which, yes, that seems to be quieter than 7 amp, but you can feel the difference when you compare that to my Hoover Soften line. There's a pretty big difference. And let me explain, I'm not trying to ditch you right there today. I'm not trying to say anything negative about this, telling you the truth. These, right here, this particular model is nothing like the bagged ones, okay? That's why the bagged ones are so much better. They keep the airflow better, and then we get as much suction out. This one has a 6.9 amp motor, it's not as powerful as the 7 amp. It doesn't have good suction, good as airflow. It's bagless, means it has a little bit less airflow. And since it has the worst seals on the planet, that means that it doesn't keep the airflow very well, so it spits the airflow out. You can put your hand around here and up here and stuff. You can see dust blowing out when you're not even using it. And you can literally feel massive amounts of airflow gushing out. This thing doesn't have very much airflow. Okay? Because it's losing so much. And also, another reason why it doesn't have very much airflow is because this thing is just kind of, I don't know, crappy. I'm not a fan of it. Actually, I kind of don't like it, actually. I actually think I'm not a big fan of this. If I had to choose between this, if I was at, like, Walmart or Kmart or... I don't know if Kmart sold the Soften line. I think that was just Walmart, Target. I don't know. I think it was maybe just Walmart. Target and Sears did not have sold it. No Walmart, Target, and Sears, and Best Buy, all those places sold this piece of crap for $200. Soften Light was about $60. Go for the Soften Light any day. More airflow, like, better filtration, maybe a little bit louder, but another thing, for the record, let me say something real quick because I need to check. Oh, this one has that cool bristle on it. This one, I thought this had the green bristle, but no. So this might handle better than I thought. But those bristles aren't looking so good. Yeah, they're really stiff, but they look like shit. And really, really, really short and really worn out looking. And so, why I didn't use it last time, because the motor or something, some type of bearing, making a weird sound on the wind down. I'm not sure at the end. You can debate whether it's the motor or the brush roll. Because I don't want to say, oh, it's the motor's better going bad, and it's the brush roll. Because I know the motor is like the squeaking sound. This ain't a squeaking sound. This sounds kind of worse. I have had this thing for 5 years, since 2019, when I bought it for $25 at Salvation Army. Anyhow, let's get to it. $60 vacuum versus $150 to $200 vacuum. Keep in mind, this one's 23 years older than this one, so let's try it out. Oh, this guy's getting kind of hot, I think, but I'm not going to be too close. Oh, there we are, that sucker, man. So, snow plowed a little bit. Just to show kind of how wide that is. And it left one piece here. Shot a couple pieces to the side. But I'm very impressed for a $60, cheap $60 Walmart vacuum. So, move on to this direct air piece of shit. Now, some will say if I turn this thing off and it's making like a funny sound, if someone in the comments are saying, that's nothing, I don't know what might happen. I'm most likely going to remove your comment because I'm not going to blow up a motor in a Hoover Elite. Especially considering one that's kind of uncommon. Like, they didn't sell many of these. Like, this is kind of a rare one. And honestly, as bad as people say the bagless wind tunnel is, like this, with the twin chamber, I bet it's 10 times better than this PL pile of crap. It probably cleans just as good, if not better. It's quieter. Has a way better filtration, I'm sure. Most likely has way more suction, because this thing's a piece of crap in terms of suction. And, most likely is less flimsy and cheaply made. But this thing's kind of crappy. And yes, I did clean it off this morning. Because this thing was freaking nasty when I got it. Like, when it was upstairs. So if I turn this off, like, midway because the motor's starting to freak me out, do not say anything in the comments. Like, just don't. So we'll see. Actually, I want to listen to this real quick and see how it does. Guess I'll put it. Hear that? Is that the brush roll or? Not too sure. Guess we'll not pay much attention to it. I think it's the brush roll. Look at that animation real quick. Well, that's pretty good for a vacuum like that. I mean, that's like a ripped apart piece. Like, that's like filet looking. Like, but yeah. Like, maybe a tie. I mean, just like I said, this is a pickup test. And honestly, you have to admit, I think the Bissell might beat the specific Hoover in the deep clean test. Why? Because it isn't because the Hoover really doesn't clean as good as this, but I think it's because, first of all, this isn't like a prime example for a Hoover Elite's cleaning performance. Like, my Hoover Aqua Supreme would probably blow that out of the water. This ain't. This has a brush that ain't good. The brush was actually kind of beat up. The motor sounds kind of funky. And I could tell the 6.9 amp has kind of a unique sound. Like, it doesn't sound like the 7 amp. It is actually smaller. Like, the motor actually isn't very big in this, or at least the housing isn't. But anyhow, yes, on the deep clean test, I'd probably give it to this Bissell. Simply because this Hoover is really beat up. I think this one was heavily abused before I got it. That's what direct air does to oatmeal. Let's see somewhere. Went from that to that. Big difference. So anyhow, speaking of and considering the deep clean test and all that, even though it's most likely a tie in terms of their pickup performance with this oatmeal, probably gonna hand it to the Bissell. That's because the Bissell isn't quite as worn out, has a better brush roll, has a more powerful motor, has a way more suction, maybe slightly more airflow, maybe. Their airflow is really close, but I think I'm gonna hit this one slightly. But, yeah, so speaking of that, I'm thinking we'll give it to the Bissell. But it's not like the Bissell versus the Orc where it's a blowout. And the Bissell, well, I'm not gonna say. But this is pretty close. They tie in the pickup test, and this one I think beats it slightly in the deep clean test. So here we go. The winner is the Bissell. The Hoover did not snowplow at all. They actually did really good at this snowplow test. They actually got it really good. Nothing about the Bissell is the motor doesn't really slow down. The Hoover can slightly lose agitation when the brush roller or the fan slows down. Because since the fan, if you took a big clump of dirt, it will slow the brush roller down. Because, of course, that hits the fan, which then makes it slow down a little bit. But anyhow, let me just show that one last time. Right here. So yeah, what do y'all think won? I think I'm gonna give it to the Bissell as my winner, which a lot of people are. But anyhow, leave comments and say whatever that noise is, and also say your winner too. Like 2 comments or both in 1 comment. Leave comments, like, subscribe, and always, there's your dinner. Peace.